here, like, boom. Asmongold little blind video review. Our government is red hot. Let's see what he's got to say.
Nothing. And so Doge is made to get rid of those retards, right? To delete them. And so a lot of people are unhappy about this. Democrats.
So the biggest thing to always ask yourself with this, anytime you see like Elon doing stuff that he's doing or anything like that, a real easy question to ask yourself is, how would these people like this, how would these people feel? And people who are more avowedly, you know, people that you've known to be Republicans for years, ask them about what Elon Musk is doing, and ask them, what if George Soros was doing that? What if the Democrats brought George Soros? And don't accept some, oh, well, they are doing that. You don't understand. It's all controlled by the cabal, and you don't look at the evidence, and you don't look at this one picture that I have cropped and blah, blah, blah. No, don't accept that. Get some real evidence, because we have evidence that he's doing stuff that's like absolutely wild. And if George Soros was doing it, you would be shitting your fucking pants. So don't pretend like you wouldn't be.
Lead a mob of protesters into the USAID headquarters. Okay, so let's go ahead and watch it.
A mob of protesters. I haven't seen what he said about J6, but let's see how he describes us.
Here we go.
As you probably
just picking his nose on stream. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Or is that biting? Is that biting nails? That might have been biting nails. I don't know. I don't know this person.
Them from email, which is putting lives at risk around the world. So we are here to enter the.
We got an answer. What's he gonna say? What's the prediction? So lives at risk around the world. I'm not super coded on what's going on here, so I don't know. Let's make a new note for Asmon, and let's see.
Building, and so we can hear firsthand from
what do we got?
Whoever is
What's the response?
here at AID, or at least witness firsthand what is happening with this Elon Musk attempted takeover, which will not stand. We will prevail.
It already is.
It already is. It's interesting. Because something is happening, it is standing. That is the conclusion there. It's an interesting thing. And again, what if Soros came in and did this in the first 2 weeks? That's the question you got to ask yourself. How would these people react if you had a George Soros coming in doing the Department of, wokeism, because that's what it would be called, in your worst, wet dream nightmare, whatever, that you fantasize is happening because you're victims all the time. In your little special world, imagine it being George Soros, the Department of Woke, the Dow, and he is trying to make, the stocks go up and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, it's evil. Oh, I could do that. He's taking Christianity. Yeah, they're going to take God out of the fucking school. You're thinking all that dumb shit. Think about that shit. Like, you would never accept this. Just think about that for like 5 seconds. You would never fucking accept it.
That's why you're outside. Let's go. All right. They're going to try to go inside. Let's see how this is going to go.
I don't even know what this is. I don't know this.
All right. Here it comes.
Oh, you got to respond to the chat too. So to all the people saying insurrection, so are they trying to impede on a government function? The Doge thing would be an interesting one. Are you trying to say that it's an essential government function that Doge be in this building on this day the same way? Because you're equating it. That's the thing. You guys are equating this to January 6th. You could see it right there on the screen, how the people are equating this to January 6th. Never let them hide the power levels. The power levels are being hidden right now. Like, they are saying that these things are exactly the same. No two things are equal in their eyes. Never, not once, except for any time the Republicans do something, there is something equal and opposite on the other side. There's just nothing. They don't agree with these things. You can ask them about any one of a million issues, and there's no even, equal, 100% equal all the time, unless it's this. Unless these people doing this to this door and walking up and making their presence known, unless this is the same as actually like breaking in. And I've heard all your conspiracy theories on that, and you're all dog shit.
Looks like they're not. Is anybody really going inside?
Ooh, actually, we may. there should be a banger to this one. Because this is the text conversation that we're in over here. And this random guy, I don't even know. I don't know if this guy is like good faith or anything. This guy could just be a garbage troller. Yeah, it just seems like kind of a lurker. Yeah, I'm not super worried about that. I'll worry about that after the fact. Right now we're jamming. Remember, these things are not the same.
It's locked. Okay, so I guess they're leaving now?
And remember, this video is titled "Our Government is Retarded." So
that one's locked too.
I'm sure I'm seeing, like, there are some representatives here, and I'm sure he's focusing on them and not these people.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, there we go. There's some of them going in. All right. They're going to start complaining. Uh-oh, it's open. Uh-oh. Here they come. Here's another one.
Let's see.
This Republican Party is the rule of law party. There are ways to address this. There are ways.
And there will be no substantive, no understanding of the government, no giving a shit about how anything works. I'm expecting.
To zero out funding. There are ways to review things or change it legislatively.
Yeah, they did that. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, they did that. That's what they're doing. Yeah, they did that. Do you know what the word legislative means? And do you know that you just fucking went around it? Like, you fucking, like, what are you talking about?
This is not that way. What's the rationale?
This is, so what Asmongold is doing right now is just making an argument for power politics. He's like, oh, well, we did it. We did it. So it's a thing. Yeah, and you also tried to steal the election in 2020. You did it. It just didn't happen to go your way. And so now we are living in the world where it didn't succeed, but it very well could have. And this coup attempt could exceed. They're trying to take over the government, and you're just letting it happen because, oh, well, it's happening. Well, you don't understand how the government is supposed to work, so you don't understand when it's breaking. You fucking moron.
Well, I'll tell you what the rationale is if the way to do it legislatively would work, then we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in.
So the government is working as intended from stopping you from doing this bullshit. So you are going around how the government is supposed to work in order to get your shit done. Yeah, it's called breaking the fucking law. I know Trump of the United States means no fucking breaking the law anymore, and it's like fucking crazy. But we are going to freak out about it as you rip the country to shreds. We are. That's just what we're going to do.
Why are you surprised that somebody wants to? And again, this is all legal.
We are not surprised that somebody wants to do it. We are surprised that you, the people, are sitting there and watching all your rights be stripped from you, because they're going to come after your guns. Just so you know, they're going to take them away. Unless you're a rich person or something like that, you're not going to have the gun. That's what they're coming after. Trump with the bump stock ban? You think that was a fucking accident? You think they're just, oh, whoopty. Fucking idiots.
The president has discretion ability to do this. It's not like
discretion ability. He just has discretion ability to do this. You know, he can just do whatever he wants. Yeah, he can. With the new Trump of the United States one, he can literally assassinate political rivals. And are you going to say that that's normal or that's good? Is that what we're arguing for now? Just take it to the extreme. I'm ready for the real ones. Stop sending these fake ones. Send the real ones.
This is fucking random. Like, yeah, audit it. Yeah, do the whole thing. It doesn't.
He acts like it's an audit, too. Don't let that, like, sane washing be part of the narrative. Like, oh, well, they're just auditing and everybody's freaking out. Like, the only reason people are freaking out is because they have something to hide and it's audit. Don't get me wrong. If you're coming here because you think I'm going to fight for every bit of government spending, you're fucking wrong. I'm not going to. I think there are parts of the government that can be shut down. Or sized down. You could absolutely find waste in the government. You could find waste in any company, I believe. I just think it's a solid thing that you could do anywhere. If you looked hard enough, you could probably find some fucking wasted bullshit, and probably true in the government as well. But is this the way to go around it or about it? No, it's fucking not. And you're going around it to do it. You just admitted it. That this is the language that they will use now, just like they did for January 6th, just like they did for the fake electors. Oh, we think we have this new novel theory. Oh, constitutional. Oh, we're doing it this way. We're doing it in a novel way. But it's called breaking the law. Yes, people have known about this for a while. No one is surprised that you're breaking the law. We are just going to say something when you do. You fucking morons.
No, it's not legal. Well, then it's happening either way. And yeah, of course,
then it's happening either way. At least he's admitting it now. But like, take it to its full extreme. Like, this is going to be the thing when they start taking people out. You fucking moron.
they're defending it. Yeah, absolutely. Congress does. Yeah, we'll see about that. Sure seems like they do. And anyway, yeah, it wasn't working. So now they're doing it this way instead. And now they're mad.
It is an entity that
Now they're mad. Now they're mad because they broke the law. Now you're mad because we broke the law to do whatever the fuck we wanted to do, and it's going to do unimaginable harm to the entire country for God knows how fucking long. But they're fucking, these salty ass goddamn liberals can't just roll over and fucking take it like we did. You know, we didn't do any fucking thing. We didn't freak the fuck out and go fucking suck each other off with the other thing. Sorry, I can do that fucking voice all day, but it's so fucking stupid. I don't know if we'll be able to get through this video.
within the
That's
executive
it.
branch. That's number one. And it has often
That's-
been at
it's
odds
it.
with the U.S. State
It's it.
Department. And that's not a good thing. As Marco Rubio said today, everything USAID does, or the bureaucracy does, needs to be aligned with the foreign policy goals of the United States.
That's
and
right.
so putting Rubio in charge of USAID today helps begin to achieve that alignment. I'm actually a supporter of American soft power. That's what we call it, soft power. I believe it's
And remember, they're going to go back and they're going to argue that some of these things are illegal. Remember what they said. Don't give him that. They said, he's just said it in this one. And if it is illegal, fuck it, we did it anyway. And then we're going to have immunity for it afterwards. So fuck it. The big thing that people don't know about that Trump immunity one, and the reason I called out that last dissenting opinion for saying it wrong, I really do think when it comes down to it, it's going to extend to his officers as well. The same immunity and the same reason they gave it to the president is the same reason that they would give it to all of his officers. You want him to be able to act vigorously. You want him to be able to not question the things that he's going to do. That also extends to the person he'd give the order to, and then on down until it needs to get done. So anybody that gets in the way of anything the president wants done, they can, not even going to say it. Not even going to say it. Can order him whatever. Shuffle loose the mortal coil.
it's good. I believe it's often been used as a tool to help the United States combat influence from China and other.
But don't worry, they won't do that. And again, remember, they said, oh, we're going to argue it, oh, it's not illegal. But if it is, we're still right to do it because we have the power, so go fuck yourself. Remember, this was their attitude.
Adversaries around the world. But there is a difference between soft power and soft stupidity. So whether you're funding
on,
like
Scott.
so whether you're funding like DEI musicals in some country or transgender surgery somewhere or whatever,
There you go.
that is not
That's
what most
precisely
Americans
not what is happening.
that is not what most Americans would say is
Just
an
because you're
effective tool of
slapping
U.S.
DEI
foreign
on
policy.
everything,
It does seem like a pretty convenient thing to just say DEI and trans in every answer, and then people just like, it must be, God damn, Asmon. Honestly, maybe that's what I'm going to come away from this one. Like, I kind of get it, Asmon, because you can play this shit. There's no work to it. And don't get me wrong, I haven't been doing this long. I'm not preaching like, too crazy. But it just seems like a pretty easy way to go about it. This particular part of what you're doing, you let the guy come on and say, trans DEI, and then you're like, they get all like seething mad. I can't believe DEI. Oh my God. And then you just get to like ride that out. It's pretty wild. I'm not saying I don't like the small audience that I have. I really do appreciate you, the loyal ones out there. If you're watching right now, you're a real one. Really appreciate you. But, or if you watch after as well, if you pick it up after, you're the real goat. All the real goats. If you're coming to watch me, you're on the winning side. We are the real patriots. Remember that. We are the real patriots. But, Asmon, I see it, man. I see it. It's an easy one. It's probably got to be real easy. You let somebody on. You don't answer anything critically. You don't really go, yeah, I said it. Fuck him. And if it was illegal, I'll fuck him too. I did. That's it. Like, doesn't really get you anything. Whatever. Doesn't get you further. But man, it must be easy making that money. Because they hear DEI and they go, oh, fucking God, goddamn fucking, oh my God, I fucking hate them. It must be easy. Was the Bo Burnham line? Say the word truck and they jizz in their overalls. Must be nice, man. But I'm not saying that his audience is a bunch of country bumpkins. No. I'm not saying that they are country people. I don't want that to be misconstrued or misclipped. They're stupid.
I have a whole list right here. I I mean, if you want me to forward it to you, I will. But the reality is we have lots of money going to projects that don't do anything for the...
Forward that list. I'm pretty sure everything that they were popping on there was like really, really low in the money count, and then everything else in the money count was really, really like these cuts are going to the wrong places. Like the couple millions here and there that are being cut are nothing, and they give us a huge influence over the entire world. And then the bit that they're going to keep in is like the cuts for the homies. Like it don't make no sense is all. It's Animal Farm. It's Animal Farm all over.
United
Then
States.
cut
And
those
so why...
projects.
I'm already pulled over. I can't pull over any further. I'm already pulled over.
Why are you trying? Why are you locking people out of their office? Why are you trying to
Because the
tell people to stop
bureaucracy,
working?
because the
Why are you
bureaucracy is
actually,
non-responsive.
without the
Because the
accountability
bureaucracy
of
is non-responsive.
Congress?
Because the bureaucracy is non-responsive. They won't cooperate with our illegal. You understand that like the people that went along with like the 2020 elector scheme, for example, perfect example, they are now listed as the co-conspirators in the crime. And I know crime doesn't matter because it's Trump did it and you guys just love Trump so much. You go, we have the Trump derangement syndrome when you're the ones that legitimately will give away everything that was built, like this entire country, for one dude. You'll give it all away. But we're the deranged ones. Remember that when you're doing that, when you're giving them all this, undue power and all that shit, that doesn't fucking matter. The people that were the Rudy Giuliani's, the John Eastman's, these were labeled as the co-conspirators in the criminal investigation that should have led, without a fucking garbage Supreme Court, should have led to his conviction. Let's just remember what these bureaucrats just aren't, we're getting in the way for this and that. You're not supposed to cooperate with fucking crimes. And we learned something from the Nuremberg trials. Just because you were given an order to do so doesn't make it a legal order, and you are still responsible for your fucking actions. Why are we children? Are we children? Are we childs? Are we chilts? Chitlins? Are we chitlins?
One thing.
Or
Ashley,
any
she mad? Yeah,
it's
she
hard
is.
to believe that someone
She's
that
mad.
$1 trillion to the U.S. deficit
Remember, she's mad, guys. She's mad. She's mad.
is really even serious about cutting costs. So I don't buy this argument that this is an effort to cut
Ooh,
costs.
I missed her point. I don't know who this lady is. She might be killing it, and
She's
I'm
mad.
cutting her
Yeah,
off.
she
It's hard
is.
to believe that someone that added $8 trillion to the U.S. deficit is really even serious about cutting costs. So I don't buy this argument that this is an effort to cut costs and make sure that there's not.
Good on him for not bringing up the little. I'm almost certain she meant deficit, and she said deficit, and he didn't say anything. I thought he would have pounced on that. Good on you. Fuck yeah. I'm a balls and strikes type of guy. Credit where credit is due. You're still a fucking weirdo.
Any government
No,
ways.
it's
I
an,
mean,
it's an effort to cut stupidity. These programs, and I could read out the whole list. If you'll give me 60 seconds, I'll read the whole thing. But there is a difference between smart soft power and dumb spending by...
Give me the total amount and then what they're looking at, like the proposed budget and then the amount on that list. Because the list that I saw was like minuscule amount once you totaled up like all the actual money that was being spent, and then you compare it to things like the budget or any other budget that we have, when you look at the things that were being done. And these are people, how can you have a conversation with these people about the positive benefits of any of these things when they just put them on a list and they're like, oh, look at these things. Oh, we're doing trans, this and that. And everything on there is going to be a fucking lie. Send me the list. I'll go through them. I'll read through it like I did the Supreme Court. All of it. Send it to me. If anybody wants to link something, throw it on Twitter or Blue Sky or fucking hit me up in Discord. I don't give a shit. Anywhere. I'd be more than happy to read through this stuff and see what is actually going on here, and then maybe explain why we're giving some of the stuff that we're giving. It's kind of crazy. We have influence over the entire world. I think we'll miss that one day. We take it for granted because we have it, and everybody kind of looks to us for their what they're going to do, how things should run. When that's gone, we may feel a lot fucking differently about this kind of laissez-faire attitude, the whole fucking thing of giving it all away. Like, I know it sounds silly, but we could fund a lot of the stuff that we wanted to fund if people agreed on stuff here, but people don't agree on stuff here. I don't understand how making certain that we lose our spot on every world stage and making sure that other countries, because China is ready. What do they call it? They have like a whole, there's a financial strategy that China has for making inroads. They're fucking ready, dude. If we want to move our currency away, if we want to move our currency back, they are more than, you want to rescind from the world, you want to shrink back. Okay, these places still need aid. They're going to go to somewhere for aid. It's probably not going to be as good. It's probably going to come with more conditions, and we're going to lose that spot. And that's fine. If you want to, send me the fucking list. Send me the list. I saw one, and it just didn't seem like much. It didn't seem like a whole lot of money. It seemed like a bullshit list put together of the most frivolous things that they could possibly find that said the word trans or said the word DEI. Oh my God, it's so scary. But when you look into them, it just doesn't seem like that much fucking money.
Left-wing ideologues who inhabit this bureaucracy,
This is the president's efforts to undermine government one agency at a time. He's signing an executive order to get rid of the Department of Education, probably as we speak. That's what this is all about. It's an effort to undermine our government one agency.
You gotta love the it's so cool.
Who's running the government? I mean, I know you know how this works, but the president's in charge.
Your president is.
You can't undermine your own government. He's in charge of the bureaucracy, and all they're asking for.
You can't undermine your own government. Is that what he just said?
Your president is.
You can't undermine your own government.
You can't undermine your own government. Holy shit. Who is this guy? Who is this fucking dude? This guy's the goddamn worst. Whoever we're watching on ad media, we're twice removed from this guy. I fucking hate this guy. You can't undermine your own government. Remember, kids, for everybody in the back, remember, Donald Trump in 2020 attempted a self-coup. He was in power, and he understood that the election results were most likely leading to his loss, to a Biden victory. And so he went out of his way to circumvent the election, to send fake state slates of electors in from people who perjured themselves in order to do so, sending all these things to undermine, yes, his own government. What the fuck? You can't undermine your own government. I have heard some stupid shit in my time. I really have. Some of it, believe it or not, from my own mouth. Believe it or not. But holy shit, that is... I hope I can catch the dude's name, because that is... What does this say behind him? Is this something? Is this his...
He's in charge of the bureaucracy.
What's his show? Oh, this is when you need to chat, guys. I'm sorry.
All they're asking for, Phil,
I want to know his name.
Else, is for the money that we spend around the world to be aligned with U.S. foreign policy interests. They have put out a long list of programs that have nothing to do with our interests. Why can't we go in and root that out and redirect the money coming from the Secretary of State to the things that matter the most? That's
to
it.
Israel. Let's go.
God, they're getting rid of this.
Remember, it's all going to Israel. For everybody who watches this, who's on the right, who's seeing this afterwards, remember, it's all going to Israel. We won anyway. Ha ha. Fucking losers.
Shit. Yeah, it is. The guy's 100% reasonable.
Ooh,
Absolutely.
shit. No, he's not reasonable, and you're a fucking idiot. But what's his name? Jennings? What a fucking idiot. Jennings, you can't undermine your own government. Said about a person who performed a self-coup, who literally performed treason on his own government. Like, what does that even mean? Like, you don't believe the things that you say. I can't believe nobody said it. Like, why didn't anybody say anything? Like, why am I not in this room? I'm just kidding. I know why. But holy shit.
You can't undermine your own government, didn't you just say that? Well, he says it doesn't make a lot of logical sense that that's what's happening, right? And so
it doesn't make a lot of logical sense that was it. Just so you know, I'm starting to attack this more. When people say logic and people say reason and people say like stuff like this, the big thing is to remember is it's not based on any logic. They have arrived at a conclusion. They know what they're already going to do, and then they are coming up with a bunch of stuff that sounds good, and they play with the words a little bit. Oh, logic, Occam's razor, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff is thrown around just to make you feel bad for calling them out on their bullshit. It's supposed to be, oh, well, he's a reasonable guy, and he's a nice enough guy. And not that you have to be mean to everybody. That's not at all what I'm saying. The big thing for this one is you just have to remember, what is his goal? Is he actually going through this conversation, trying to, parse out like what's going to happen, or has he already come up with what he's going to say, and so he's going through
100%
it?
reasonable. Absolutely. You can't undermine your own government. Then you just say that. Well, he says it doesn't make a lot of logical sense that
Doesn't make a lot of logical sense, and then he's going to agree with that. Does it? Doesn't it? Because he already did it once. How does that not make logical sense? How does that not logically follow? That somebody who tried to do something before when they had a certain amount of power was given more power and more immunity and then was doing it. You fucking, just ridiculous. It's just silly.
Right? And so anyway,
It's illogical. That's what's happening. No, it's not logical. It's not what's
I'll
happening.
go ahead. I'll show you guys some.
And that's the other thing. It's not logical. Like, you are saying now that someone that you know has acted in nefarious ways, I could get you to admit at least one, is not going to do something when he has more ability to do. So he did something bad in the past. He tried to steal the 2020 election, and then he's not going to do worse this time. And this obviously can't be an overreach. Why? I'm not getting this connection. I'm not making this connection up. Why can't it be him undermining his government? Why is it logical that he wouldn't undermine his own government? Especially if it suits his interests. We're not saying like undermine government means he gets less benefit from it. If he gets more benefit from a smaller government, or if he gets more benefit from an undermined government, or he gets more benefit from a weak government, you can't say, oh, well, he's making the government weak and that's bad for him because he is government. Trump doesn't equal the government. He never thought about it that way. He doesn't take himself as an officer or anything like that. He didn't give a shit about any of these oaths. He didn't put his hand on the Bible or anything like that. Not that I give a shit about that anyway. But these people don't care. So why are you pretending that they do? Don't fucking lie to me. Don't fucking lie.
Some of the things that they tried to do, right? $1.5 million. This is the USAID to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workforces and business communities.
$1.5 million. Let's do a total of what he talks about. Let's do $1.5 million. Millionaires. And then we're going to keep counting this up and see how this goes. See what he brings up. Because I'm sure it must be something gross. Because remember, these people enrich themselves in multiple different ways to the tunes of billions of dollars. So I probably want to see at least $1 billion in cuts in wasteful spending, right? That would be good. So we're starting off strong with $1.5 million. Let's see what we get next.
$70,000 for a production of a...
Okay, we're going to add $70,000. So we're going to put up... Okay, there we go. We got 1.57. Again, we're starting off very, 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 very strong here on our way to, let's call it $1 billion. I feel like it should be a lot more based on the claims that were made, but let's just call it an even Billy, you know?
A DEI musical in Ireland. 2.5.
I'd be interested to see what the actual details are on this DEI musical. I don't believe a goddamn fucking thing that any of these people write, especially if he's using it as like his source. It's probably garbage, but I'd love to see where this list is coming from. The Daily Mail. Maybe we'll read through that. Maybe we'll read through the Daily Mail article and see what they actually say. But let's keep up with the count.
$5 million for electric vehicles in Vietnam.
$2.5 million. Did you hear that? $2.5 million. 2.5, guys.
$47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia. $32,000.
What is that? 79,000. Let's just do 4.1. I'm getting bored. I'm not mathing today. It's not my strong suit anyway. Fuck it. Let's do 4.5. Let's just give it to you. I don't give a shit. Let's just give you guys all the charity that you would never extend me. Let's do it.
Hours for transgender comic books in Peru. And a $2 million for...
Boom, boom. Again, I am not at all trusting any of these numbers. I don't trust the source. This person seems very uncritical of just about everything and seems to, establish a narrative, use words like logic that don't really fit to kind of ham-fist in his kind of moral, oh, well, if you came to this conclusion, you're a good person. If you didn't come to this conclusion, you're a bad person type of logic. It's not real logic. It doesn't follow. You're not giving us anything that reasonably follows. You're just giving us your bullshit, cuck-ass, fucking loser take. Bunch of bullshit.
For sex changes and LGBT activism in Guatemala.
I already added that 2 million, right? I think I did. Yeah.
Now, if I ask myself, does this serve America's best?
So I hate being so critical. I really don't want to. I don't want to put a lot of this on Asmon. If he's just going through and this is like his style, I don't really know. But to me, the sex changes part isn't in quotes, and then the LGBTQ activism is in quotes. If this was just like, hey, they were promoting this thing and then they attach it, it's just, I don't know. It feels like kind of gross. It just, I don't know. It feels like you're trying to sneak in a lot of moral shit there. I don't know. First real red flag that I'm seeing, other than the fact that he's going for it and he already feels a certain way.
I think the answer to that is absolutely fucking not. No, it doesn't. We're just taking this as gospel? Yes, I am. I'm taking this from gospel because this is coming directly from the federal government. And
what? By the way, I did spot it on there. For anybody who thinks I don't give people a fair chance, there was another $6 million thing listed underneath, I believe. So we're going to put that up to $12.5 million. So while Asmon was on stream and he's going through and he's getting people upset about this, remember, this is $12.5 million. Let's see. U.S. annual federal budget. I don't even know if I'm looking up the right thing. I don't know if we have like different stuff. We just get an idea of numbers. What's the U.S. annual budget? None of this. Boom. Little wiki warrior. So total revenue is 4.4 trillion. 4.4 trillion. Total outlays, again, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking up, but 6.1 trillion. That sounds, so I was looking for $1 billion. Remember, I was asking for like close to like $1 billion. And maybe there will be. And if there is, I want to look through it. I want to see what they're doing. If they're doing good cuts, that makes sense. I want to do it. But to me, this just isn't, this isn't what I was looking for in terms of percentage. $12.5 million when we're looking at trillions of dollars. Ooh. Percentage. If my computer will load. We'll see. Do some Google math here. Million of 6 trillion. So remember what Elon Musk just did by illegal means that Asmongold is so upset about and so sure he is, quote, taking it as the gospel, accounts for, and this is what he brought up while he was on this video in this stream. If there's something else, I'll go to it, is 0.00020833333333% of part of our budget. The budget number that I looked up randomly. Let's go by the lower number. Let's go by the lumber number. That'll be fair. We'll go by the lower number that we saw because I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. Remember, the amount that was just cut, possibly illegally, causing all this fret and all this strife that you guys are kind of pissy about now, accounted for 0.0030487849%, really small fucking number, amount of the budget. This is what's being cut. In order to, and remember, the argument is you have to make this argument that it's not worth it. You were just saying, oh, it's this amount of money, so it is. I'm proving to you that it's a minuscule percentage of what we spend just in a budget. You know, you can look at the money that we spend elsewhere and whatnot, but it's a very, very small amount. And you can imagine now, what do we lose for that tiny percentage that we were giving away to other countries, that we were helping out, that we were, you know, around the world, you know, in trade deals and help and a million things that I don't fucking know about. How much do we lose there? I don't think that I know the full answer. I know this motherfucker doesn't know the full answer to that question, but I don't think I know the full answer to that question either. How much do we really lose on? What's the opportunity cost of this much ceded ground to our enemies? Do we remember who the real enemies are? It's not the Americans. Swear, like Tim Pool and a couple other ones got paid off by Russia, and then like half of my country turned to fucking Russian bots. Like, you fucking losers. Like, what? How can you not see? Like, we're Americans. This is a pretty cool thing that we have here. Don't fuck it up for nothing. For nothing. And remember, such a small percentage that they're cutting, and they're doing so illegally. Imagine how much more you could do if you followed the fucking rules sometimes and were able to, I don't know, write legislation that funded itself and not just have bare tax cuts when you're in a like, it's ridiculous that these people get called the financially responsible ones as people just watch it all fucking burn.
Unless the federal government is lying about the federal government making bad decisions. So, like, at this point...
So he didn't even get those from the federal government, by the way. That was not what those, at least, and anybody, I'm a balls and strikes guy. If you go back and you look at the VOD and you see that those people were like federal government agencies or federal government PDFs or something like that. I saw Daily Mail and shit like that, and I didn't see him go through sources. So maybe he did, but I'm not giving him that benefit of the doubt. He has not earned it in this conversation or in this video. This is not a conversation. We're not parasocial. But this asserted premise here is just wild. Oh, the federal government is saying this and we got this from them. Where are you getting that from? And again, even if I were to grant you that, it is such a minuscule percentage. Oh, hold on. We're just going to get that back. Boom. We're going to copy and paste this percentage so we have this. Boom. So we have it for the future. Just so we know what we're talking about. This is the percentage. This is the percentage that was cut. And this is what Asmongold brought up. This is his stream, his shit, what he chose to do. He didn't know I was going to be going over this part, but fuck it. You put this out, and this is the part you chose to get salty about. This is a very small number. And if there's a list that comes out where we're looking at a large portion, we're looking at a large percentage of the money, absolutely, let's take a fucking look at it. I'll be your guy. I'm a balls and strikes guy. But this ain't it. You have not convinced me that this is worth illegal action in order to get this shit done. I just don't, I don't see the need. For, again, 0.000304878%. Silly.
Bad decisions. So, like, at this point, so who do you think is more of an authority on the federal government? The news source that you listen to or the government itself? Yeah.
So, again, where is he? The one that he just got it from was just the news source, right? Like, we're at 7:14 now. He was here. Daily Caller, dailymail.co.uk. Are these different? Is Rapid Response is 47? Is that something that I don't know about? Because if it's anything to do with actually Trump and he's saying that that is the federal government speaking the truth, like, I just refuse. These people lie as easy as they breathe. So where is this claim coming from that, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. I'll cede a little bit of ground there. Maybe I'm not seeing where this federal stuff is coming from and I haven't read this. So if they're sourcing it directly from the federal government, maybe I don't know about that. But at least to me, you have not shown that. You have not shown that at all. You are baselessly asserting that.
All on, yes, of course. Yes, all of this is made up. It's all fake.
Meow
None
Slayer
of it
just
actually
followed.
happened.
Welcome
It's
to
all
the
just a
Fart King
big,
Show.
Thank you for the follow, Meow
it's all
Slayer.
just a
What up?
big
What up?
conspiracy, guys.
It's all just a big
For sure.
conspiracy. No, don't discredit the things that we have to say. Like, I know, again, this isn't a conversation, we're not talking, but it's such a silly thing to say that, oh, yeah, you just care about this because it's a crazy conspiracy theory. No, we don't think it's worth doing illegal things to cut out. Again, we have it right down here in the bottom. 0.003% from the budget. Less than that. It's insane to think that we would trade.
Influence is sweeping throughout the administration. It was late last week that the Doge team showed up at USAID offices in Washington.
Like, I feel like this is the equivalent of me going on, like, Reddit, being, like, with my political leaning, and then just uncritically just spouting out everything I saw on Reddit was just boom, 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 just thrown out. That would be so silly. It would be so silly. It would just be such an echo chamber. But this is what they do, and this is what's successful. I just don't understand it.
And demanded access. USAID employee Christina Dry described the scene.
Doge was in the building. We took down our pride flags. I took out any books I felt would be incriminating. No one was talking. We heard they started taking transcripts automatically of all of our Google
They're
Meets.
roaching out, bro.
They're roaching out.
Plugged the news in the little kitchen galleys.
Yep.
It didn't feel good. And then Saturday, all of the websites went down. And then I lost complete access to my computer.
Complete access computer, yes. You've been captured. When did you believe everything one side puts out as truth? You're now on a...
Yep. Here's a good question from the chat that he is maybe going to address. Let's see. Let's see if we get a real good faith.
Elon Musk's influence.
Bro, you actually think this is fake? Like, complete access computer, yes. You've been captured. When did you believe everything one side puts out as truth? You're now on a cult.
Elon Musk's
Actually, though, he literally just believes it uncritically. That's exactly what I was saying. He just takes it as the gospel.
Bro, you actually think this is fake? Like, really, like, these are people, like, I've seen this happen to the culture over the last 10 years. Like, how can you watch, like, that Democratic chair convention and then see this happen, and then the first thing you think to yourself is, no, this isn't happening? It's so obviously fucking happening, it's unreal. Like, really, like, these are people, like, I've seen this happen to the culture over the last 10 years.
So we have to take his word. I've seen this happen to the culture over the last 10 years. I've seen this happen. I've seen this happen. You know, no real evidence given, no nothing like that.
Like that Democratic chair convention, and then see this happen, and then the first thing you think to yourself is, no, this isn't happening. It's so obviously fucking happening, it's unreal. It's completely fucking obvious. They're the ones that are drinking the Kool-Aid. This is the thing, and I can even show...
They're the ones that are drinking the Kool-Aid, and I can show you. Look at this Twitter link.
Oh, this is temporary, Asmon, overblown? Of course it's going to be temporary, because after the problem's solved, then you won't need to solve it again.
This person's an idiot. Just pull up your Twitter. Just pull up your Twitter. Just give me your Twitters. Give me your twats.
Doesn't that make sense?
Elon Musk, you didn't create U.S. aid. The United States Congress did for the American people.
As it's supposed to work. These are the functions of a normal government. At least our normal government. This is how it was. It was written. This is the way. Where are you fucking Mandalorian fans? All you fucking cringe lords that talk about that shit. This is the way. Go back and fucking read a goddamn book.
That's why.
And speaking of, I'm not just going to throw that out there. Like, go read like the Federalist Papers and stuff like that. Read the reasons why we became a nation. You know, there's like not that many. There's like 77 of them or something like that. Like it's not that hard. How many are there? How many Federalist Papers? 85 essays. 85. Not 77. I was 7 off. 77 sevens off. But 85. It's not that bad. You guys can go read that. Read a few founding documents. Who knows? You might even fucking learn something.
That's why they're putting on, gender plays in Ireland. That's right.
Yeah. If that's how the money's been allocated, like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's for America.
Yeah. Like, I think it would be tougher if they stopped for a second to think about it. Like, it sounds intuitive to be like, oh yeah, anything outside of America, like, not for America. But like, make that argument for real. Like, in today's day and age, like, argue with me that we can't spend $1 outside of America without it benefiting America somehow. Like, with an adult understanding of like the world stage and how trade works and how China is trying to make inroads with everybody that they can and Russia's trying to make their way back. Like, explain to me how it doesn't. Like you have the burden of proof there. You're kind of making the more ridiculous claim. You're saying that, oh, there's no way that these international markets could touch us or the effects the effects that happen there can't positively affect it. There's no way that these things can be going out and then have some positive. You kind of have to make that. You can't just assert that. You can't just say, oh, because black bad, oh, because gay bad. No, like, I want to hear something. Like, please, somebody, please, I'm trying. We're out here.
U.S. aid. He doesn't have the power to destroy it. And who's going to stop him? We are. We're going to stop him. Elon Musk, you may have illegally... seize power over the financial payment systems of the United States Department of Treasury, but you don't control the money of the American people. The United States Congress does that. Under Article 1 of the Constitution.
Everything's going downhill? Yeah, for sure.
And just like the president...
Yeah, for sure. Notice the bold, just like, claim. This is the thing that I've noticed. They just boldly assert things that they could never know.
Who is elected to something cannot impact...
Don't get me wrong. That other person is saying, like, oh yeah, things are going to hell. But they're basing it off of these things that you can measure as bad things in history, not this, oh, there's this unprecedented thing that's just happening to happen for the cool little edgelord that I like, and so I can be a cool little edgelord and support it. It's fucking cringy.
The people, we don't have a fourth branch of government called Elon Musk, and that's going to become real clear.
Like, if you ever wonder if these are just edgelords and losers, like, look at the chat. Like, the chat just reveals everything. And reveals mine. Not that many people chatting. We really appreciate you, Mal. What up? And Peter, thank you so much for chatting. But the chat reflects quite a bit. You can see these things thrown in here. This is how they feel. They're cringy little edgelords. And it's really dope that the government's getting ripped down in their lifetime. That's about it.
And this is so yeah, all these guys are getting fired. That's it. Yeah, he's an advisor and a helper. These people are beyond retarded. Well, they're trying to make the argument that because Elon Musk is involved...
Because we're doing things in a criminal way, because our side is doing things in a criminal way, they're getting upset about it. That's what he's saying.
It's like some sort of oligarchy or like...
Oh, they're trying to say that going around the regular, the rules of government that regularly for the last hundreds of years, you know, depending on which statute you're talking about breaking, you know, for the Electoral Count Act or whatever it may be, there's different levels of precedent, but this stuff has been established for so long, and then just being torn asunder in one go round is fucking nuts.
Plutocracy, which is like, to a degree, it's true, but like, I mean, you know, you play this game for 100 years, somebody else plays it for 2 weeks.
Play this game for 100 years? What is the claim there? What are we even talking about at that point? Like 1925? Does this person even know what they're saying? Am I wasting my time going over this, guys? Feel free to tell me, because this is starting to feel like it might just be a troll.
And now you're acting like the system's rigged. Well...
I heard, and no one's acting like the system is rigged. The system is set up in a way to punish people who break the criminal law, and then there was one thing that broke all that precedent. If you haven't seen it, go check out my YouTube channel. We have it there. But that is what we're saying. No one is saying this, oh, we're sorry that you're doing what we're doing. No one did this. This is not a thing. And the 100 years claim just betrays so much stupidity.
Guess what? I wonder how it got that way. You know? So, yeah, Elon Musk is a government employee.
I wonder how it got that way. You know, I would even see the argument if he wasn't so bad, if these people all weren't bad faith, and you wanted to go back and you wanted to say that about like Democratic establishment and mess ups and lack of accountability and shit like that. If you wanted to say that and you wanted to say that for the Trump 2016 one against Hillary, I'm there for you. You know, I was a Bernie bro. I remember coming out. I remember getting all excited. I remember being all about that life. But then we all have to grow up at some point. And after that, and after we were scorned, we took a look at the situation, and some of us who weren't retarded, like this fucking moron, the government is not retarded, you're retarded, we're able to take a look at that critically and see, hey, there may be some, you know, goofy stuff happening on both sides, but one of these things can actually end in the destruction. The Republicans, and I'll argue this, the Republican gambits, for however much people want to argue that they're equal, if I say like some terrible thing the Republicans did and then you say like, oh, this is the equal thing, they're not equal, and I can prove it. The things the Republicans do would tend to, if continued, lead to the end of whatever institution they're involved in. Like the Supreme Court, for example. People will argue that Democrats want to pack the court and that would destroy the Supreme Court, and that Republicans didn't give Obama his Supreme Court pick in not holding the vote for Merrick Garland. There's an argument to be made that these two things are kind of like opposite sides. Yes, but they don't oppose, or they don't offer the same complications. If you pack the court, which it's happened before, the size of the court has been increased, and we still have a Supreme Court. So there is precedent for the facts. So the people that are arguing from the Republican side that are saying, hey, well, if you guys pack the court, it'll destroy it. There's no real argument for that, and it doesn't really make logical sense. If you add more to a thing, you will get more of a thing. Say, for example, the Democrats take back the Senate in 2026, and then they decide that no matter how long, no matter when, no matter what, no matter for any reason, any Republican who puts forth any Supreme Court justice, they do not get a vote. Or Republicans did it and the Democrats. It doesn't have to be one or the other. But say the Senate said they were going to do what Mitch McConnell did that one time into the future. Anyone that has any logical sense can see that these two things are kind of on opposite sides, but one would actually lead to the destruction if you go and you never appoint new people. People die. That's like a fact. People get old and they die. If you don't appoint new people to be in the Supreme Court, there will eventually be no fucking Supreme Court. If you do what the Republicans had done, there would be no Supreme Court. If you continued to do so, eventually we would run out. If you put more justices on the Supreme Court, you can argue that it would dilute it. You could argue that it would delete the purpose. You could argue that it would be destroyed in everything but name and blah, 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 blah. You could say that, but it would still be a fucking Supreme Court. It doesn't make sense to equate, to put these things on equal level is just not the same. It's not the same, and I'm tired of pretending that it is.
Yeah, it's that simple. And so anyway, this is the other one. All right, let's watch this. And a lot of people have been negative, very, very negative about this.
This dude.
Just so you know, a lot of people have been negative about this. Way to poison the well. You know your audience fucking hates her anyway.
Is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires I have ever met or seen or witnessed. Which
I think she learned that from Kamala Harris.
You know,
nailed it. Fucking got her, dude. Got her with the name drop, dude.
No, you can probably even glean that from watching these people on TV. Anyways, all of that is to say is that they don't do.
Yeah. You notice the stuttering and stuff like that? They like look for an angle on her, but they can't really do it. I enjoy her. Like the worst that you got is like, oh, you learned that from Kamala?
Their homework.
And then they all like her. She's kind of cute, big booty Latina. You hear all this stuff? It's positive. It's positive. Honestly, I think these coomers will be back to it in no time. They'll do like one thing in Trump and then they'll be itching for it. We're going to have Obama 2.0.
Clearly, like,
it's going to be hilarious.
They're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is not smart.
Yeah. Notice how there's no substantive engagement? No, not going to.
Yeah, and by the way, this is actually.
Oh. Let's see. What is he going to do? So there's teenagers being in there, and then they're loyalty is in question because one of them was like leaking secrets or stuff like that. I don't know if that claim is being made here, but let's see what's the actual pushback here. What's the critical Asmongold observer? What is he going to get here for his 11 minutes and 30 seconds of uncritical bullshit? What is he going to get for his time spent?
Actually true. They're putting like 19 to 22-year-old like 4chan users in charge of the federal government. That's right. Yep.
And
like the fact that he doesn't even address it. So no one said that they were in charge of the federal government. No one said that. No one. Let's go back. Let's see AOC's claim. Let's see what she said.
how we even glean that from watching these people on TV.
Let's see.
Anyways,
Let's watch the straw man get erected in real time.
that they don't do their homework. Clearly, like, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is not smart.
So putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury was the claim made at 11 minutes and 25 seconds. Let's see how quickly the dipshit can erect. It's pretty fascinating. For a stupid person, he can erect a straw man quite quickly. We're at 11 minutes and 25 seconds. We're going to pause when the straw man is completely finished.
Yeah, and by the way, this is actually true. They're putting like 19 to 22-year-old like 4chan users in charge of the federal government.
Ooh, okay. 14 seconds. That's all it took to completely erect a straw man based on nothing, and then you can beat it to death. Not even really. This is a weird use of a straw man. You threw in the 4chan thing, you threw in this, and you threw in that. Didn't even have anything to say. Let's see if he even attacks the straw man. He just erected it, and it seems silly enough. Let's just move on.
That's right. Yep.
And the danger in the lack of intelligence and the lack of expertise that Elon has. I mean, this.
So, no engagement with that whatsoever. Just an erected straw man, and then no response to her point. Dope.
This guy is.
It's funny because didn't people use these same arguments to say not to vote for her whenever she first ran for office because she was.
Bruh, like my brain like hurts sometimes from the stupidity that I get attacked with by these people. Like you just get like psychic rays are fucking coming in at you from all directions. So isn't that what they said about you, that you were young and inexperienced when you ran to be the duly elected representative and won? Isn't that what they said about you? Why can you then levy this same claim that these random people that are breaking laws and committing crimes in order to do this, most likely, who fucking knows how the Supreme Court just is gone as well. But who could allow her to make any critique when she was called young before, when she was elected in her election? You fucking moron. Like, how are these two things even who can put these two in the same one?
He was so young.
Oh yeah, you were young when you ran to be an elected member and then won. These people that didn't get elected, that were brought in by the person who wasn't elected. Remember, George Soros. This is like a George Soros underling that somebody brought in, a 19-year-old woke kid who's tried. This is how it would be pitched to you. To every dipshit, if you ever listen to this, if you ever have the critical thinking skill, if you ever, not even critical thinking, if you are curious enough to go and seek out other opinions from yourself, fucking listen to this. Imagine, instead of Elon Musk, it's George Soros, and instead of this 19, 20, the straw man that was just created that's in charge of the federal government, that's going into the Treasury and deciding where payments should go, is some blue-haired woke lib with their, what did you dumbasses believe? The kitty litter in the corner? Imagine it was the kitty litter in the corner kids literally pissing and shitting in the U.S. Treasury Department, and then they were deciding where the money goes. Imagine how much we would be frothing at the fucking mouth. You wouldn't have fucking words to do it. You would take your daddy's dick out of your mouth for 5 seconds in your goofy podunk-ass town, and you would be like, what? This is super fucked up. I can't believe that they would do this. It is bonkers to me, the hypocrisy. You would never allow this on your side. You would be losing your goddamn mind. And these people that just have no fucking integrity whatsoever just sit here and like, okay, Olga, it's just so like it's weak. It's weak. It's weak sauce.
Morally vacant, but also just
I'm only halfway through this. I don't know if I'm gonna get through this, guy. This shit's
knowledgeable about these systems that
pissing me off.
we really know of.
Yeah, we you don't.
But the point is that
Wait, what was that?
That morally vacant, but expertise.
See what he's saying. See what she's saying.
Elon has. I mean, this guy is one.
It's funny because didn't people use these same arguments to say not to vote for her whenever she first ran for office? Because
Yeah, and then she won, you dumbass.
Morally vacant, but also just.
And to anyone that says like, oh yeah, that gives this person the same right. No, if they would have ran in elections and then overcome the same thing, that would have been something. But experience is something to have, especially when you're going into these things. And it's the fate of the entire country. You guys are so fucking stupid to like surrender everything to this. Like it's so culty.
Least knowledgeable. Just least knowledgeable about these systems that we really know of.
Yeah, you don't. Funny because didn't people use these same arguments to take?
So let's see. Before he cuts it up, let's see what she just actually says.
True. They're putting like 19 to 22-year-old like 4chan users in charge of the federal government.
Yep, that's not what she said. But you're still a piece of shit.
Yep.
And the danger in the lack of intelligence and the lack of expertise that Elon has. I mean, this guy is one.
It's funny because didn't people use these
the danger and the lack of expertise, the danger and the lack of expertise, the danger and the lack of expertise, the danger and the lack of expertise.
But also,
so putting people in a position when they have no expertise is morally vacant and
least knowledgeable about these systems that.
And they're least knowledgeable. So he's putting in people that are. She basically said the same thing twice. She was a little redundant there, and then he's going to call her out like it's some terrible thing. It's a balls and strike thing. She repeated herself.
We really know of.
Yeah, you don't.
But the point is,
he's gonna act. He's acting like I can read minds. I'm just fucking. I didn't pre-watch anything. He's acting like she's saying something about these programs, and that she is saying that she is very knowledgeable, and they are not. She is just reiterating twice that they are not knowledgeable. She's not saying I'm an expert on these systems, and then he's taking it as that right now.
Is that
what was that?
That Elon has. I mean, this guy is one of the most morally vacant, but also just least knowledgeable.
So he's morally vacant and the least knowledgeable
about these systems that we really know of.
Right.
About these systems, like of the people that we know of, he's the least knowledgeable. That was the statement.
But the point is,
it's a big meanie.
With that,
and then that's how it's responded to, because he knows that she wasn't making a point about the actual system.
Means is that they're going to hit a button.
Yeah.
Inevitably, they are going.
What the fuck? I love how we're all sitting in front of fucking keyboards and we act like you can't hit a button to do things. What button do you press to actuate? What button do you press when something's done? What button do you press when you want to like do it? Is there an enter key? Do you call it a key instead? If we called it a key, would that make it make sense to you? Do you have to like hit your face against the fucking keyboard to understand?
Hit a button and things can go sideways.
Yep, that's what people voted for. And so anyway, there's been a lot.
That's what people voted for. Jesus.
Criticizing young, inexperienced engineers aiding Elon Musk's government takeover. Engineers between 19 and 24, most linked to Musk's companies, are playing a key role.
I do love my stark difference between these people. If you're joining us for the first time, what's up? Love how they just read these shitty little articles that all agree with them and shit like that, or just find something like rage bait. We go through and we read the documents. If you ever want to see it, hop on my YouTube channel.
As he seizes control of federal infrastructure. And so you have a bunch of these random guys. Yes, these right here are these are the four horsemen of the.
I love how he's saying it like it's a joke, like it's not a thing.
The fat, retarded federal government worker apocalypse. And they've been
So it's not a thing. You've been saying it like it was like a funny, like, oh, like they're 90. Oh, yeah, it's so true that they're in charge.
Having a really bad.
Dude, What's your point right now? Are they or are they not?
Time.
What are you saying? Pick a
They
side.
brought in the 4chan users. They brought in the gamers. And
Make a claim. What's the claim?
And it's been bad for them. And so anyway, here's one of the people that...
So nothing? Okay, this is going to be it, right?
They think is a stupid person who doesn't know anything, and who is this guy? Why would you put this guy in charge of anything? Here's a video about one of them, okay?
I'm sure this is going to be very revealing. Sure, this is going to, whatever this video is, it's going to contain why it's okay to illegally go around Congress in order to do this. This is what it's going to contain. This kid is going to explain to us why we don't have to be worried about them breaking the law. I'm fucking ready for it.
So I've always been interested in history. Growing up, I learned Latin. I was never that good at it, but I was always kind of into that sort of stuff, read a lot about the Roman Empire and things. And one day I was just listening to a podcast back in March. It was with Nat Friedman. He just kind of got on the podcast, explained like there are these burnt up scrolls that were buried in the Pompeii eruption. No one knows how to read them, but some professors have created CT scans of these.
Is this seriously going to be like, oh shit, he did something smart with computers, so we should let him dismantle the federal government? Is that seriously the argument? There has to be. No, there has to be more. There has to be more. He has 3.38 million subscribers. There just has to be more.
Scrolls, and they uploaded the data on the internet as a competition.
There has to be more.
Writing inside of these scrolls. And when I heard that, I was just immediately like, oh my goodness, this is such a cool project.
And you can see why they're worried.
What the fuck is the actual connection? What's the connection? I actually don't understand at all. What's the connection here at all? This is what we're scared. I literally don't understand like this at all.
This guy won the grand prize for deciphering.
This is a retard. This is a full-blown retard. How would these two even be connected? Why would you put one with the other? I would rather read this kid's like AP Gov work than this. What does this have to do? Like,
Scrolls that got destroyed by a volcano. And these people actually have the arrogance to think that he can't figure out a federal government ledger.
Holy shit. That is the stupidest fucking point I've ever fucking heard in my entire fucking life. That is absolutely fucking batshit crazy bonkers. Holy shit. So I guess the claim is, and fucking correct me if I'm wrong, if you can win a competition to read lost Pompeii scrolls, or would it be any lost scrolls? I don't think it's specific to Pompeii. Lost scrolls. You therefore must be qualified in federal budget analysis. Automatically be trusted to do so with minimal to no check and balance oversight. That's the claim, right? Like that's I don't know this person well enough to do like a real shorthand, but that's the claim, right? Because he did these scrolls, he has to be able to figure out the federal ledger and then be able to, and again, it's not just like figure it out. It's understand how it all plays in together. And then I'm not saying that I understand it completely, but just the connection between these two things is so disconnected. It's so delusional. Like this is an absence of thought face. There's nothing here.
Work on this. I just went home from work that day at the end of the day, and I've been working on it evenings and weekends ever since. I run most of the things from my laptop. It's just a normal MacBook, don't worry. But then I've just got
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not even doubting. Like, balls and strikes. The kid seems bright, but he could be a full-fledged, like, literal Nazi. And that's what we found with some of them, is that they make like racist-ass remarks. What does this C-scroll bullshit have to do with the actual ability to do the things that you're saying? You're not making this connection. I won't make it for you. You must make this. Like, this is ridiculous.
computers in here. This is what I do most of my work from.
See that? Do you see the look on Asmon's face? Like, this is like like, we're showing the best side. Like, I'm showing the best.
The Rake School and just the University of Nebraska as a whole has provided a great educational background where I can then, take
Why the fuck are we watching this?
skills that I've learned and apply them to problems like this.
Two unrelated things. No.
No, I can't wait. What is the explanation? What is the explanation? I'm glad that somebody is at least saying something. At least there are people in this chat pushing back. Asmongold his brain is mush now, apparently. It is gone. There is nothing left. I am certain of that after this. That holy shit. Like, this is absolutely bonkers. But at least there are people in the chat pushing back. What do these two things have to do with it? What's the prediction here? No, if he can solve this problem, he can solve the government problem easy. I'm betting that's what it is. Oh, if he can solve this, he should be able to solve, like, it's going to be like it's like an AI type of thing. Like, oh, if AI can figure out, the most complicated math problem, it can figure out how to tell me how to love my mom. It's just two things that are completely different. Not that the federal government is like, loving, a family member, like, how do I express to my parents that I love them, but I'm my own person, or something like that. AI is not going to be able, it might throw out some shit, but it's not going to meaningfully get you there the way it could meaningfully get you to an answer or something like that. Those things it can solve for, some things it can't solve for. I feel like the thing he's going to say here is, oh, if you can compute one thing, you can compute another thing. And it's just not that. It's such a silly thing to do. And part of this job is knowing what is and is not part of the law. And it doesn't seem like this guy's anywhere connected to that. Again, give me his like AP Gov paperwork, like that he did to get into this college. Like, what classes did he take? Oh, his fucking nails are all ripped up.
I think that
he got some grimy ass nails, by the way. Calling this dude out. Look at that. Mine aren't much better. I'm not even gonna lie. Balls and strikes. But my goodness,
people
grimy.
Competent in one thing are probably going to be competent in a lot of other things too.
Oh my God. People who are competent in one thing are probably going to be competent in a lot of other things too. Oh, holy shit. What's the best example of he doesn't even fucking believe that? Or are we at a point where you just don't give anybody on the left any credit anymore for anything? I'm picking my nose now that I'm Asmon. What's the... Because, man, that is just... I know he just doesn't believe that. He just doesn't believe that. And it's crazy here. I just don't know. He might be so far gone that he might not give... No one on the left, no one associated with the left does anything well. Or something like that. He might just have some stupid-ass take like that, which I would believe him having at this point.
And one thing I've learned, so like we had this in like, so this is...
Except for salespeople. The chat is funny. This is fucking stupid.
This is one issue that like we had in like WoW guilds. Is that like we had people that were like really bad tanks or really bad healers. And we thought like, oh, we'll just swap them to another role. And then they'll get better, right? And they'll just be better.
So if you're one of the smart, this is how it happens, by the way. This is like the othering. If you're one of the smart ones, one of the good ones, if you do good things, you can get the pass for all the bad things that you do because, oh, you'll probably do them good. When in actuality, you should just look at the people's work. What do they do? What are they putting out? If these people are fucking goofballs and have no place being here and don't know when to stop because they're fucking breaking the law, it's probably not a good place for them to be in.
No, it turns out some people are just retarded.
You are. Yes, you are. And that's why there is no convincing Asmongold in this one. There is no, the explanation that you're good at this one specific thing, so therefore you must be good at this other extremely difficult, extremely, anybody who's done this work would tell you that these are novel challenges that you will face in this one. It's like, oh, well, he's a problem solver, so he can get it. No, you're fucking naive, and it's just because it's your side. You would never accept this if it was the other side. If I showed you some woke person who was making some fucking... remember, George Soros had some college kid, and when we went to their room, it's like a fucking LGBTQ flag, and it's fucking all the shit that you fucking hate, and remember, they'd be the ones coding the shit away. And if I told you that, oh, they did some Dead Sea Scrolls sometime or some Pompeii fucking scrolls, that means that they should be able to cut your federal funding to XYZ, or they should be able to talk about your state funding, or they should get access to your Medicaid or your Medicare. Fuck you. You guys would never hear this. You guys would never hear this. I won't hear it now because you're fucking liars.
You put them in, they're going to be garbage. And then there's other people that it doesn't matter what role that you put them in, they're going to be the top performer in that role.
You know what that's called? It's called fucking losers like you that just play that one fucking video game and then judge everybody based on that. I don't even know. What is he, WoW or something like that? I don't give a shit. But fucking loser, dude. Loser. Perpetually online. And by the way, sorry, my audio's fucked.
What the fuck is that keyboard? This is he's an art enjoyer. This is a piece of art.
He's an art enjoyer. Listen to just all like the leash that they give. Like, there is no consistency with how they treat either side. That's why I say balls and strikes. That's what balls and strikes mean. You're supposed to call it as it fucking is. Not, oh, well, which side does he support? And then it's cool if he does it. But if I saw a gay guy with that, it would be the worst thing in the world. Like, it's just, I don't even know that he hates on gay people. I'm just saying, like, if this was George Soros and this was George Soros's woke-ass kid who was cutting your fucking federal funding, you would lose your goddamn fucking minds, you fucking losers.
It's called The Big Wave by Hakusai. The guy also drew hentai in like the 1500s or something like that. And the back of it is Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh.
Lame.
One of the impressionist painters.
Lame.
At the start of the challenge, we had not been able to find any writing at all within the
lame
scrolls. There are hundreds
so
of these
what the fuck
scrolls
is
that
the
are from
keyboard?
the
That's
mansion.
it.
We've
That's what
scanned
the
a
keyboard
couple
is.
of them, and no one had been able to find any writing in them using these methods. Late one Saturday night, I was sitting at a party at a friend's house in Omaha, and I get a text from another person on the challenge team, and he says, "Hey, I've just uploaded this new kind of piece of the scroll. You should take a look at it."
This is the stupidest thing to include in this video. This doesn't convey shit.
And then I just kind of started. I pull out my phone again, just nonchalantly, like, "Hey, I wonder how that went." And there are 3 Greek letters on the screen, letters I'd never seen before. It was really.
This is the person that they think can't figure out how to read the federal government ledgers.
This is actually the stupidest fucking take I've ever heard in my goddamn life. Like, I can't, but like, like, you have to clip this one just for like what it is. Like, this is the stupidest fucking thing I've actually ever seen in my entire fucking life. I don't even know if that copied like a good portion, but that shit, literally the stupidest fucking thing I've ever like heard another person say. Like, oh yeah, you're good at this one obscure thing, so this one like super important, super like, it gives me a headache, honestly. It really does, the stupidity of it. Because you could then say that like any skill that we could put up from the left, like any George Soros, you know, the wokest, you know, kid, the whatever, that can fucking like do anything, like, and it wouldn't be this same thing. You would find something to justify. This is the most obscure random bullshit ever, and it just proves to me that if it wasn't this, it'd be the next most random obscure thing. And then fuck it, like, why can't, when the wokists take over, why can't they say, oh, this kid hula hoops really well, let's put him in charge of Department of Defense? Like, that's what you guys are fucking asking for. Like, the next person who's in charge of the Pentagon is not going to be an alcoholic. It's actually going to be a fucking hula hooper or something like that. It's going to be somebody who fucking dresses as like a mermaid for fun. And it's going to be like, look, they understand the ins and outs of being a mermaid. And what you guys don't understand is I know from my past of being in mermaid work that some people, you know, you put them in a certain costume and they just don't do so well. You know, they just flounder around. They don't really do it. And you're like, oh, like maybe we'll give them a better costume. No, you don't waste that good costume on them. They're shit. The good mermaids are always going to rise to the top. They're always going to shut the fuck up. This is the dumbest fucking thing. You would never accept this from the other side. So why the fuck would you ever posit it?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the emphasis on my point. Thank you for the emphasis on my point. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Asmon. Putting that little period on the end of my sentence.
That was the moment I realized, like, this is actually going to work. Like, we're probably going to reach.
You can see why they're worried.
I completely freaked out. My friends were there. I was cheering, jumping up and down, you know, screaming, crying, all the stuff. I took a picture of the results and I sent them to my mom. She called me and she's like, "Hey,
yes,
that was great," you know?
yes. Not because of this video, but not because of this video, dipshit. You've given us nothing either way. This isn't reassurance or some guarantee that he's going to do evil. I don't know. Again, let me see any of his work that has anything to do with anything that we're talking about. This is so unrelated, it's crazy.
Yeah, so this is the word that I actually found. It's right here. It's the word prophoros, which translates to purple. It's the first word we found in the scrolls. It was reviewed by a committee of kind of Greek scholars, but it's...
Uh-oh.
Which, by the way, there's a lot of subtext to that. Purple is, in a lot of cultures, the last discovered color because of how infrequently it occurs in nature. And so it implies that the culture that these scrolls were received in was very advanced. It was for rich people, yes. That's a very important letter. Like, of any word to have exists, purple was an important one.
Purple. And I'm glad it's not the word in or the or and that we found for...
My computer's fucking up. Give it a second. There we go. We're back.
We actually found
royalty. Yep.
A word that has meaning.
They like snails
this would not
for
be
it at the
possible
beginning.
without modern AI and modern scanning techniques. People have wanted to read these books for hundreds of years, and this...
So fucking stupid. Like, this is why I say, like, this is a circle jerk. Like, there is no real pushback to this. Otherwise, this would never be put forward as any sort of proof of fucking anything.
Seems like
in either way, I would never put this forward for mine. I would never have him put this forward for his if I wrote his dog shit stuff.
The entire book and read the hundreds of other books that were buried in this condition as well.
Dope. That's super awesome. You know what he should go do? Shit like that. Meaningful, useful shit. Not destroying our country.
Been very pleasantly surprised by the amount of attention it's gotten. As a college student, it's definitely been overwhelming in the best way possible.
So here's a bunch of articles about how this kid did this one thing.
But it's been really
Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking away. This is a fucking phenomenal achievement. Dope on this kid. But the point that's trying to be made here is that we should trust this person to dismantle parts of the federal government illegally, as far as we understand, with the way the laws are written, like an illegal maneuver to do. We should trust him because of these. That's the claim being made. Remember, if you ever feel fucking crazy, it's because they're trying to make you feel fucking crazy.
To kind of, talk about my findings and, share what I want to do in the future with so many people. So it's been overwhelming in the best possible way. The University of Nebraska.
What the fuck?
Students to think boldly, and I think that's played a pivotal role in my work on this project.
So, we'll go back to the statement that she said.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's go ahead and watch this again.
This dude is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires I have ever
Talking about Elon Musk, so it has nothing to do with what you're talking about if he tries to conflate.
witnessed. Which, you know, you can probably even glean that from watching these people on TV. Anyways, all of that is to say is that they don't do their homework. Clearly, like, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is...
So again, Elon Musk, the people in charge of Doge, did not do their homework, and they pulled in these people who have no idea with what the fuck they're actually doing. Is the claim, is AI going to do it? Because if AI is going to do it, and that's what you guys want, say that. Say, he will implement AI in this way, blah, 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 blah. There is nothing that you have given that makes any of this anywhere near the semblance of a point that he will be qualified to do this. Unless it's putting AI in charge of it. You're a fucking idiot. Like, I love this laugh and stuff like that. They didn't do their due diligence when hiring these people. They just have some people that are tight. They have their boys. They have the homies. Don't get me wrong. They may be bright homies, but they are the homies, and they are committing crimes. That's the big thing. These people are committing crimes in order to do what they're doing, and we're supposed to do it with impunity because they're smart? No. She's saying the people that hired them, there are some people in this world who get to a certain point of money or success or whatever, and they don't have to go out and challenge their views. They don't have to go do things in the real world. They don't have to get along with people or do real jobs and stuff. So these people think that, oh, I achieved up to a certain point, so anything below it I can do. That's not the case most of the time. Most of the time, there are some jobs that you can do here and there, but you couldn't do them regularly. And there are some tasks that you could do here and there, but you couldn't do them regularly. You couldn't do a good job. This is one of those things. You may be a fucking Rembrandt at this thing, but when it comes to something that you don't know how to fucking do, you just don't know how to fucking do it. I bet there's a really smart dude out there in the world. Some fucking autistic kid. Some like fucking hardcore, like spamming whatever. So fucking smart. But I bet there's a task that you could put in front of, hey, we need you to go. There's a room of 3 people. We need you to publicly speak. Give these 3 people, we have a pamphlet made up and we need you to get them this information. They might crumble because you put them in something that they're completely unaware of. They don't know how to do. This could be that case. You have no evidence to support anything of his financial responsibility. He could be fucking, in huge debt. He could have gambling debt. He could be online. He could be fucking... There are so many things and you've provided nothing to it, and then to just laugh it off is like,
so cooked, and
they said the word homework. Oh my God. And this guy did homework before. Holy shit. We fucking got him, guys. Oh my God. We fucking got him.
They are so cooked.
They're so cooked. I got my Twitter little things, and I'm going to pull these up. Oh my goodness.
They're bringing in the 4 horsemen of Discord. The 4 horsemen of 4chan. They're done.
We might be, but it's because of assholes like you. Get out of our space. Get off of our platforms. You're a trash person. And I'm not saying we shouldn't platform him. I'm saying he should voluntarily choose to leave because his ideas are that ridiculously unpopular. I want this chat to be full of people just telling him how much of a dipshit he is. Not every once in a while, and him choosing to engage with it every once in a while, but consistently.
Go and think that they're gonna somehow get around this. These guys used AI to figure out, or one of them used AI to figure out a Dead Sea Scroll.
This connection is just not there.
Or not even Dead Sea Scroll. A scroll that was in like Pompeii after a fucking eruption.
This is the stupidest, like,
of a volcano.
Of a volcano. He survived a volcano, and so he can make changes in our government. I don't understand. It's not the claim that he's making, but it's just as fucking silly.
And they're gonna try, and they're sitting there trying to hide the pride flags whenever they come in the building. Oh, take them down.
I think they were more saying that was like a part of the new policy, like keeping up with. I think that's like a big thing in federal buildings. Like as the new administration comes in, you make changes, you put up new pictures and shit like that. It's like pretty normal.
Don't let him see this. Oh no.
I'm like pretty sure that's pretty normal, and he should know that. That should be his point. He should be making the point that, oh, those people were kind of like freaking out and kind of like saying this. This is normal practice. You just do this. Like, what a fucking idiot.
Really? It's embarrassing, bro.
Like,
It's
he can't even do
sad.
his bit. Like, his bit is supposed to be.
Don't understand or complain? I understand it perfectly.
No, you don't.
I know it's so stupid.
No, you don't. You made a straw man the instant it came up, and then you came back with the most ridiculous. He interpreted this scroll using AI, therefore, like, if you said it out loud, it just sounds ridiculous. Connect it logically. How did these two things connect logically?
This appeal to authority.
Why does doing that scroll, why does this competence equal competence in this other realm? Explain to me how they are similar enough where you will be able to transfer these skills.
Because they've worked at this
Other than just like computer knowledge.
place for a long period of time, so they think that they know what they're doing. How many times have we found out that most of the people that are experts in their fields are actually just people that have failed upward as a career for 25 years?
Why couldn't the person that was able to do it for 25 years, why would you assume that that person was able to get away with everything, but this kid isn't just faking that one thing? Yeah, he got given $40,000 for it. You're saying somebody got paid 25 years worth of salary for doing nothing? That's a more believable claim. That's what we're supposed to believe. And I'm not saying either. I'm not saying this kid faked it. It would be too far for me. But you saying that you know for a fact that there are these people who have been around for so long not doing anything, that is such an easy assumption to make, but you won't make the same assumption. How do you know he's not a fucking bot? He works with AI. How do you know he just didn't make all the fucking shit up? How do you know he didn't set up the check and everything? You don't fucking know. You didn't look into this. You just found the first thing that supported you and fucking ran with it. Obviously, because it doesn't even fucking support your part. It doesn't even fucking support it.
Pretty often.
There's not even a connection.
And so anyway, yep, there you go. And yeah, always remember the old saying about government: those that can do, those who can't teach, those who can't do or teach work for the government. Yeah, I guess so. And it's a ridiculous complaint from people who are even less competent than average people. Exactly. I don't understand or complain. Absolutely not.
Stupid. And so now he's just reading chat that just agrees. So made the weakest point in the world, and now the video is I don't know how he runs a stream or whatever, but like this portion's wrapping up, so we're just we're winding down, and that's how he's gonna do it, is just read all the chats that agree, and then oh yeah, we made some point, and then we did. No, that's so awful.
I don't. Am I missing something? Look at this.
What a goofy ass comparison. What a goofy ass comparison. To take these four and single them out over all the other people of all the other ages and then act like it's the same thing. When you are pulling these people in, the Elon team is this very small group of people versus these people were sought out for their different views, for their ability to represent their different states, for their experience in this exact fucking field, dipshit. They had experience in exactly these fucking things. They were exactly this. They were statesmen. They were people who had been sponsored, who had gone. For example, Alexander Hamilton had served in the fucking military. You fucking absolute dipshit. Like, he had the ability and studied alongside Washington, and Washington in the military had his, experience with it, experience with leading men and all that stuff, and went to school, had an ability to learn about all this shit. These people were experiencing exactly this, learning the entire time, sponsored is how I would say it, because they had the money to do these things, to study these things, and they didn't have to worry about going out and working. They were all rich. They had experience with these things, directly with these things, and then in some cases were the elected representatives in these of these people, or the assumed representative of these people, or the de facto representative of these people. Like, I'm pretty sure, wasn't James Madison like huge in Virginia? Like, come on, man. Like, this comparison is just so disingenuous. Like, this is just as bad as the other one. Just putting these in here. These people who have direct experience in the field versus these people who, at our time, a very different time, with the ages of people, a 25-year-old, and that's it. Comparing a 25-year-old to the 24-year-old. How old do you think the 25-year-olds were back then compared to now? Fucking morons. Just no thought. There's no thought here.
25. Man, that's crazy, huh? Wow, who said that? I know. Bro, some chatters, man, they look old for their age. Well, these are probably photos, you know, or like portraits taken of them way later on. But, yeah. And, bro, people only lived to 35 back then? Yeah, bro, yeah, he's like 50 at this point, right? And so, anyway,
What was that? And he was 50?
so
What?
there you go. And so I just wanted to show you guys that.
And that's the other thing too. These people were forming a government. Like the comparison falls flat in so many ways. These people were the experienced representatives of different portions of the population at the time, and went out of their way to convince people and write things. The Federalist Papers, like we were talking about before. There's so many like things that they have that you can look at representing like the will of the people versus what we have now. These people that were installed kind of like under the cover of night, and then we don't want to know their names or anything like that. And now that we do know their names, oh well, they're so smart, you have to trust them. And then that's supposed to be taken as the same way as these people who are at completely different points in their fucking lives. It's silly to me. Not that the ages are much different. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that these people were at very different points in their life when it comes to experience and what they were asked to do, and to act any other way is fucking disingenuous.
Not lie, that may have been the dumbest thing ever said on stream. Yeah. Back when the average age was like 32. So, like, people...
The average age was not that young. If that's what he's about to say, that's like one thing. But the other thing is, these people were asked to do more at a very young age, and if he lies about that, he's a fucking liar. That was a big thing, that we don't have this, like, now everybody's like, oh, you're not an adult, so you're 21 or 25 because these fucking losers like this exist. No, you're a fucking adult, and back then you were an adult, sometimes even quite a bit younger. You asked to be the man of the house quite a bit younger. Not asked, you just were. Fucking stupid.
Nope.
And more people did die. Like, the average age was less, so and some of that was... just people happen to fucking die. Alexander Hamilton's like whole family, he was asked to like grow up. Wasn't there like a whole big thing where he lost his family really early and then had to do a bunch of shit early? You don't think that grew him up? You don't think that gave him some experience? You don't think that informed a lot of what he did? None of these people were just handed the way that Elon handed these people undue power. None of these people were just handed it. They went and they met, and they were the representatives from their areas, and the people who spoke for good amounts of the region, and the people who had wealth and a position and an ability to go to these on a regular basis and argue their points and continue to be there. It's so disingenuous.
People, like, get smarter faster. Like, that's not how it works, right? Yeah. Oh, anyway, her complaint is that an unqualified person was put in charge by a man who doesn't have legal authority to do so. Well, if the guy, if Trump's doing,
so the first time anybody brought up any real point, let's see what he says.
If they want to try to contest it legally, they can go ahead and do that. But I'll tell you one thing. I totally fucking support them.
So they can try and do it. But remember, even if it's illegal, he doesn't care. Even if it's illegal, it doesn't matter. He already said that before. It doesn't matter. Even if it is illegal, fuck it.
A lot of the people that vote
my guys are doing it, and they voted for him, so that's what they get.
For Trump, this is exactly what they voted for. If I had voted for Trump, this would have been 100%.
And then that's the other thing too. He gets to say that because he like says he didn't do it, but you get to cash in after the fact because people want to be like the center side. Oh, we weren't on like the hardcore MAGA side. We were with this guy, and then he happened to be fucking losers, dude.
Absolutely.
Just own your shit. It's so lame.
Drain the swamp. Yeah, this is what people want.
Honestly, really lame.
I think this is what the majority of people want too. It's just funny that these are the same people that were complaining about term limits and old presidents, and now they're complaining about guys that are too young. Maybe they're just complaining about.
Oh my God. Oh my God. The term limits thing thrown in with the old candidate. That's wild because when you guys started that, and then it was like a counter. And then the other big thing is like, oh yeah, and now they're bitching about too young. They're just all over the place. They're so crazy. Or is it about inexperience on both sides? Or is it about inability, ineptness? You cannot do the job well. Old, young, whatever. If you're stupid like this guy is, you probably can't do jobs well. That's the whole thing he was talking about. He is bad. His thought processes are bad. His speech is bad. His hygiene is bad. This guy's a fucking loser. So if you want to listen to him, you go for it. But my goodness, this is our conservative style. Create straw men and then bash them to bits. Create straw men and bash them to bits. Create straw men and bash them to bits. The one time he got asked about it, he said, oh yeah, you can challenge it legally. I know they're breaking the law, but he already said he doesn't give a shit if they are breaking the law. my guy, my side, my whatever, my trolls are doing it, so it doesn't fucking matter. Fucking losers.
My liberal friends are supporting this. I don't get anyone who disagrees. Well, it's because people are captured by an ideology.
Nope. You're a fucking loser. That's it. That's it. It doesn't have to be all that crazy. And honestly, it makes more logical sense for you to be on the grift. Your side's won. They want to hop back into these spaces. They want a place where they can say all this shit. They want a place where they can go to a common chat. They don't want to go to their ancillary spaces where they have to deal, our conservative, you have to deal with the fact that if you ever let the post be overrun with the people who actually know how to think, that you just wouldn't have anything. Twitter, if you find a space where there are a decent amount of liberals, the Republicans don't push back. When it's all Nazis, all the Nazis jump in. When it's all these people that support each other, and it's like 70-30, they feel comfortable. 80-20, they feel comfortable. If it's like 50-50, these people turn tail and fucking run.
Yeah, I think it is dangerous. It's very dangerous.
It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous.
But I think it's
Just
been dangerous
a stupid person.
We've gone down for a long time, and I'm
Can I get some benchmarks on that?
risk and see what happens.
I'm willing to take a risk and see. At least these people are owning it. They just don't give a shit. They're absolutely garbage people, and they care not for what makes America great. They care not for free and fair elections. I've asked even people like, not this person, but people like this, hey, you say it won't happen. You say, oh, let's roll the dice, whatever. What if we don't have free and fair elections in 2026? What if they're not free and fair elections in 2028? What do you do then? And I've had them say back to me, oh, we're just going to go about our daily life. Like, it is what it is. Most Americans will just, like, we'll just deal with it. You guys are fucking stupid. Like, it's so dumb.
So I think
let's hear the wrap up. Like, it is what it is. Let's hear the wrap up.
This is like the Thomas Sowell quote of to a bureaucracy, the main thing that's important.
I already fucked it up. Already stupid.
Isn't necessarily the outcome, but the procedure. I really can't give a fuck about the procedure.
Yeah, see, at least he admits it. In that last little bit, he admits it. He does not care about what makes America great. Not that we are only procedure, but these procedures have kept us in check for a long time, and it's kind of fucking wild that we're willing to throw it away for one orange dipshit. All right. Whew, that is it.